Namaste and very cordial welcome to you in Ruru Talk Time program. Dear listener, you can listen this program in your radio set at 94.8 MHz Ruru FM every Saturday at 7:30. Listener, today this is me Vishnu Prasad Bandari with new episode of this program. Dear listener, before I set today's journey, I like to tell you that you can simply log in www.rurufm.com.np and listen this program live. And similarly, you can download Hamro Patro application and listen this program. Dear listener, being in the program, we have some interaction with a song. Yes, but before I set today's journey, I love to thank you people for being very close to the radio. Similarly, I love to thank Mr. Ramesh Mijar for his continuous effort, and especially I love to thank him for bringing my voice into AA. In the same way, I love to thank the role of Media House. I thank Ruru FM for bringing this program, especially my voice, into AA. Well, dear listener, now let's enjoy an appetizer song, and today we are going to listen Mr. Bob Dylan. And you know, dear listener, Mr. Dylan received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2016, and he is originally from Minnesota state of the USA. Now we are going to listen his very famous and very philosophical song, Blowing in the Wind. पाँच नम्बरमा भएको गीत राख्नु होला. Yes, dear listener, now as a routine, today we are going to have an interaction program with a lady from America, and it's really very interesting feature that today we are going to have an interaction program with Joyce Centro, and she is an American teacher, and I love to say she is a special educator teaching young children with autism. And dear listener, I love to tell that she seems to be young, but she tells her age 63. Yes, now without delay, I am going to welcome Miss Joyce Centro. Joyce, welcome to you in Ruru Talk Time program.
Thank you.
Yes, Joyce, how do you introduce yourself?
Well, as you said, I'm an educator from the state of Minnesota. I have always worked with young children with autism, their parents, and other teachers. My training was as a speech and language clinician.
Yes.
And ever since I started working, I always worked with children who had significant disabilities.
Yeah.
So shortly after I started working, I became specifically interested in children with autism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have had, working in the state of Minnesota, I was very fortunate to have extensive training in a variety of strategies that were known to be effective for kids with autism.
So charity works. Yeah.
Well, through the public education system.
Good. Yes, Joyce, actually people these days utter the word autism. And actually what is autism? In simple words, let's know what autism is.
Well, autism actually is characterized by three main areas.
Yes, three main areas.
Right.
Yeah, what are these?
Difficulty in understanding and engaging in social interaction.
Yeah.
So they have difficulty understanding social cues,
Yes.
which involves reading facial expressions, understanding people's tone of voice, and understanding the meaning of language.
Yeah. Difficulty in communication,
Social
difficulty in understanding the voice, and social interaction. Yeah.
Well, those are kind of combined.
Yes.
The third category is a limited range of interest. So often, people with autism may be very good at one thing,
Yes.
but have great difficulty with primarily the social
yes.
things.
Yeah. So, what are other features of autism? Actually, in these days, people cannot differentiate or distinguish from, autistic people cannot be separated from other people, like the people having Down syndrome. So, actually, how does autism differ from Down syndrome?
Okay. Well, typically, Down syndrome, as with many other developmental disabilities, there's a general delay.
Yes.
So that delay in communication and socialization and motor skills and cognitive functioning,
Yeah.
kind of across the board, there's a general delay. But with kids with autism, they're marked by an uneven
Yeah.
pattern, so that they may be, cognitive skills may be very high,
Yeah.
but yet they may have the social skills of someone much younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we call it an uneven pattern of development.
Yes, great. So, uneven pattern of development is autism, right? So, are there some diagnostic tools to identify or to diagnose people with autism?
There are.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. Generally, as an educator,
Yeah.
I'm not qualified to diagnose autism. In Minnesota, we have, we call it criteria that is a child might meet in order to receive services under that label. But a diagnosis has to be done by a qualified medical professional.
Yeah. So, can we clinically test?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are tools that are now very reliable, but they are behaviorally based rather than a medical test. It's not a genetic disorder or blood test or DNA.
Yeah.
But it has to. It's the way a child behaves under certain conditions.
So this is almost difficult to clinically diagnose a people with autism.
Unless if you're not trained, it is. But if you're trained, then it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult if you know what to look for.
Yeah. So since it is a behavioral problem or disorder or difficulty, then we need psychologists to analyze the behavior of autistic people.
You need someone trained specifically in the area.
Yes. So, but in terms of Down syndrome, we can have clinical testing.
I do believe there is a medical test. It's a chromosomal difference.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it can be diagnosed that way.
Yes. Okay, Joyce, I know very well you are a speech therapist.
Yes.
Right? Does speech therapy improve speech on autistic people?
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Yeah. How does it improve the speech on autistic kids?